welcome back to another episode of Smith Fishing Outdoors. I'm Fisher Smith, and who's ready for muskie season? I know a lot of you guys south of Highway 10 are already out there slamming them, but since I'm up in mid-northern Wisconsin, we have to wait for the northern opener, which is Memorial Day, and I cannot wait. I am so excited. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to pick out some go-to baits from like our glider and everything else box, and even a few Topwaters, and I'll show you guys two combos. That's basically gonna be my bread and butter that weekend. So let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm gonna scoot over real quick, hop in the everything box, the wreck and rack, and since the water temps are gonna be mid 60s, low 60s. You're basically going to catch them on a lot of slower stuff, but even sometimes you get middle of the day, you can run some bucktails, some smaller tails, which I will show you in a second. But I'm going to say, first off, what I'm probably going to start out with in the morning would be Topwater, but we'll get to that here pretty soon. I'm going to grab a Musky water glider. And that's my favorite color right there. Last year I caught a 49-incher on it, and it's a great bait. A lot of times water can be a little bit clearer in the spring. You can see that head bouncing back and forth. Great for dirty flowages, and I don't know, it's a great bait. Really love the way it works back and forth, and muskies love it too. It's a great bait for that water temperature. Refogs, say you're fishing a little bit shallower, working it over some of that fresh weed growth, popping it in and out. This can be a really good bait for fishing, say 2 feet and under. And muskies come unglued. I know this one's been a couple of mouths in the spring. A couple, I mean a lot. Rubber, you can throw some rubber. You get into some deeper break lines. A lot of up pops. I kind of want to keep it higher this time of year. I'd also go a little bit smaller. So this is a mid-Medusa Tequila. Overall, one of the best colors they make. Bucktails. Here's one bucktail that I'm gonna be throwing around a little bit. A DS4. I like it because it runs really high. And if I really need to, I can make it run low too. And, it's really fun doing figure eights of this thing and just watching a muskie come up and bite that back blade. And, I don't know, I've had really good hookup ratio with these. They got a hook up front, hook up back, hook and back, 2 sets of double eights. So, that's going to be one of my go-tos for bucktail wise. Obviously I got some more Chaos gliders, Phantoms, a few more Chaos gliders. Also a smaller Navin might work. What I would throw is kind of an 8-inch Navin, brighter colors. No weight, because I'd be wanting to run it a little bit shallower this time of year. Gosh, that color's pretty. It's a great time to throw some of these smaller baits that you just bought at the shows, and they work. Small tails. See, this is just barely any hair. Throw this over that new weed growth and just burn it. Burn it fast. We also got another thing you can do. Basically went through most of the baits in that. What I got here is just a small little box, little Cabela's box, I don't even know. But all it is just a bunch of single eights, other small light bucktails, A lot of marabou, some tinsel, but are all super light, and you can burn them really fast, and they run over top of those weeds. And that can be a really good tactic for like opening weekend muskies, and even the next following weeks after that. I know one of the best times I'd have for throwing these little bucktails is like a week into June. So gotta have a box with a little bit of bucktails. It'll get you through. Okay, so right before we get into everybody's favorite thing, the Topwater box, I gotta talk about what rods I'll be using. I said I'd have 2 bread and butter rods. So what I have here is a Chaos Assault Stick Tactical Strike. This is a 710. This rod, I'm gonna be using it for all my gliders, dive and rises, and it's just gonna get me basically through everything. This rod is super nice. I caught that 49-incher on that Musky Waters on this rod here. I do like a split grip, but that's personal preference. I just think it taps easier when I'm tapping slack in my arm, but that's a go-to rod for gliders. Okay, so rod, when you get to all Topwater and the smaller bucktail box that I kind of showed you, this combo is the best Topwater rod and reel that I think we've ever ran. So what I have here for a reel is a PC Fun Aliois 300 with 80-pound fins, XS braid. Just a beautiful setup. This is the high-speed reel because we like to be able to catch up to that slack when the muskies are waking behind it, and they just absolutely crush it. You don't want to be late. So this is a 9'6" telescoping rod. I like a longer rod for Topwater because you can really swing it instead of really setting the hook. Because for Topwater, if you set the hook too hard and jerk it, you're gonna pull that bait out of that fish's mouth. So that's the go-to. The 300 on this. There's also a 300 with 80-pound fins XS on that other rod. Now let's get to the Topwater box. I'm itching to talk about some Topwater. Open up the wrecking rack. Move the rods. Let's see. Let's start out with some louder Topwater. Actually, you know what? No, if we're starting Topwater, it'd be early in the morning. What I'm going to start out with is, I think I'm going to go with a walk the dog bait. You could go with good Suic Weagle. Great bait. I do like how they have this, they put a white dot on the top, so when it's nice and calm in the morning, you can see that walking back and forth. The rod I'm going to use this for would be the 710. This is a great bait. Other walk the dogs. Actually, I got one right here. See, a Bubba by Chaos. Great bait. Smaller profile. It'll get some of those fish to come up and smash it when they're not really looking for a bigger profile like this or the Lee Lures fish sticks. So, and that Bubba does walk really nice, and it's fairly easy to cast too. Then I think I might go with a flap tail depending on the morning, but if I were to go for a flap tail, I'd go for like a big guy flap, or a TR Customs would be really good in the morning too. I love those. Creepers, I'd stick to creepers as it gets maybe towards dark in the evening. Topper stoppers, this is something you can throw. Even if there's a small little chop, you can run these. And what we like to do is we run these pretty slow in the spring. And we actually do have a tuning method that we use for these. If you guys want to see a video on that, we can probably make that happen. But topper stoppers, an old bait, but a great bait. Laxul mini mags. I know My dad was tossing this around a lot last year, and it put a whole lot of fish in the boat. I'm actually gonna grab the one. Laxo Mini Mags. And basically that rod setup was the ideal setup for running these. You got a faster reel, you can really get that bait going without having to tire out your hands. And that long rod, really good for sweeping the hook sets. How we like to run these is a lot faster. It's got a smaller profile, like width-wise, but length is it's decently long. Smaller blade on the back gets it so you can go at it really fast. And the Muskies, if you get one waking behind, I swear it's the coolest thing ever. Oh, okay. Hog wobblers, great bait for mornings and evenings, and it's getting darker. So slower. What you can do is you can twist out this screw. It's not going to come out. Just twist it one time. It'll make it so you can run that bait a little bit faster. And just a little tip for that. Louder. Getting a little bit louder. We got some top raiders. A lot of the older top raiders are really good this time of year, if you can get your hands on them. The older ones have BBs in the back. Like to run these a little bit slower. And great bait for 65, getting up into the 70-degree water temp. Muskies can come unglued on these things. It's a blast when you get on a good topwater bite. Okay, we got Big Mama. Big Mama, we're getting a little bit louder. Getting a little bit more choppy. Some great baits we can throw. Chopper XL, Lee lures. A little bit more chop. Make it a little bit more noise. Rivers. If I was fishing a river, I'd just probably go with a little sister. I've thrown this a lot in rivers in the mornings, and the Muskies, oh, they can come unglued on these things. I know fishing with Brian Scaife, he had a couple of fish coming after, I'm pretty sure it was a loon color. But, little sisters. Suick Nightwalker. It's probably going to be the last topwater I'll show you guys. Again, louder, smaller profile compared to others. Great for a river. And also just your lake and flowage. So that's basically our topwater box. I'll have to put these baits away. And those are the rods and line and setups that we're going to be running. So comment down below if you guys are excited for opening muskie season for the whole state. And obviously Minnesota, you guys got to wait till, what is it, I think a week into June. But, yeah. I'm stoked. I'm ready to get out there, cast some muskie baits, and boat a couple. So, if you guys like this video of Smith's Fishing Outdoors, please hit the like, subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next adventure.